Hey YouTube, this is Dawson Rider here with a review of Kyoryu Red from Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger. Well, S.H.Figuarts Kyoryu Red, not just like a review of the character. Today we are going to take a look at Dago. What drives him psychologically? Is he really a better Gentaro? Yes, everyone is better than Gentaro. Anyway, that was a weird tangent. Let's go ahead and get started with everyone's favorite part, the box. The box is actually pretty neat. You've probably paid attention. They've been, making Figuarts boxes unique, but this one's pretty nice. You sort of have a version of their chest piece here on for the front packaging window. You can see like the silver lines, and then these are like the teeth, and they look like they're sketched, which kind of gives it a wild look, which is cool. You have the symbol here for Gautir, which is cool. You got a picture of the figure right here. Logo, or name down here, the logo's up here. Then on the side you just get the name continuing, and on the back it shows you poses you can get him in. You've got the logo back here, the sort of teeth battery effect here, which is pretty neat. So it definitely reflects the personality of the show, so that's neat. For accessories, he comes with a fair amount of stuff. You got your typical hands. Right now I just have the generic fists on him. You've got hands for holding the battery, which he does come with, hands for holding the weapons, and just some sort of regular pose hands. He comes with right here this extra arm piece for his armament, which was right there. It's just got the spikes on it, and then obviously his weapon right here, which goes hand in hand with that, which is funny because it's a hand. So it looks really nice. It's got a really nice gloss to it. Looks pretty neat, and it does open, so very cool. You get the Gabu revolver, their weapon slash morpher, and that also is very nicely detailed. Figuarts weapons usually are, so that's cool. And then you get the Gaburi caliber right here. Oh, popped out. There we go. And that looks nice as well. You do not get the combine mode, which they combine? I know. Which I find to actually be really surprising. I guess I should have known from pictures, but I was really surprised, and I thought maybe that this piece would transform, but no. I'm having a hard time getting it out here, but if you can see, it actually comes with a really tiny Judenchi. It's really basically painted. It's got like silver around the edges and then just red and yellow. But that's really neat, really easy to lose, but neat. But so my only complaint accessories-wise is that it doesn't come with the combine mode, which is kind of annoying because I actually, before I received this figure, I was thinking I kind of want to pose it with that until me get team. Okay, anyway. Instead of being weird, let's go over the figure. I have to say I'm very pleasantly surprised with this figure. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Not that I thought it was going to be terrible, but I thought I was going to have more issues with it than I did. Let me just pan the camera down a little bit, because I'm going to go in closer. Okay, so let's take a look at him first, and I'll tell you what I was talking about. So for the head sculpt, it's very nicely done. It's got a really nice gloss to it, as I usually have with these. As you can see, like, the helmet shines nicely. You can see the light of the camera going against it. The red shines nicely. The color's all accurate. All around good job. As typically happens sometimes, the proportion is a little off. I feel like Kyoryu Red's helmet is a little fatter, but sometimes that happens just because they use the same mold and stuff, and sometimes Sentai helmets that are usually a little bit wider end up being skinny, so it's not like a huge deal breaker, but it's just something of note. His chest here is very nicely detailed, if you know what I mean. No, I'm kidding. But they're very nicely colored. The yellow is really nice and bright. The logo is really nicely detailed and clear. The silver paint looks good here. The red paint here also looks good. You have those, typical sort of cloth effects to make it look like it's bending. The shoulder piece here is nicely done. It's got a kind of a shine to the silver plastic, which is nice. And then his arms here, obviously a different color. It's part of the suit, and you got this sort of mesh feel, which I thought they did very well. Now, here's the shoulder joints, which if you watch my Sentai reviews, or my Figuarts reviews for Sentai, you know that I have a big hang-up about shoulder joints. And this is one of the things I was worried about from seeing the pictures, is it looked like it had the Shinkenju shoulder joints, which I'm really not a fan of. And they do have, it's like a variation of the way the Shinkenju shoulder joints work, and it's actually a lot better. I would still, in a perfect world, maybe have them use one of the other kinds or come up with a better one, but this is a much improved sort of version of what the Shinkenger ones do, because they have like a little flap over the shoulder. And my problem with the Shinkenger ones was, the huge gapping that happens like that, and then like this would fold in and the shoulder would fold in, and it just wasn't very realistic and smoothing. I know it's impossible to get like complete realism, but it still was stood out the most amongst them. But this one is a much improved one. The shoulder pad actually tracks the movement a lot better, and it's a lot easier to stop from getting that gapping feel, and it flows a lot better than the Shinkenger joints. And over here it's obviously covered by this, so the shoulder joints were actually a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Anyway, moving down here, there's not really much to cover. The red paint remains the same down here. There's no real intricate details on his legs, but it looks fine. You do have his belt here, which is nicely detailed and actually does spin around. Unless I am a complete wimp, it does not open, but it does spin, which is nice, because you can just play it like he's about to get some batteries out. So yeah, very nicely done detail-wise. Here's the back. Check out the back. So yeah, very nicely done detail-wise. I'll repeat myself again. Should I say it a third time? No, alright. Alright, articulation-wise, pretty typical for what you expect from a Sentai figure art. You got the 360 joint up here, swiveling, double elbow joint here, swiveling at his fists. You've got articulation here at the waist and at the chest. The chest is a little bit lesser than some, just because he's got the sort of solid piece right here. 360 ball joint on his legs, swiveling, double knee joint. You've got a nice ball joint on his foot, so you can get some solid all-around movement. The toe joint. And then, of course, up here you have the neck and head articulation, which is all very nicely done. So then the only other thing you can really do with him is put his little armament on, which is fairly easy. All you're going to be doing is taking out this arm. You kind of have to apply a little bit of force, which makes me a little bit nervous because of my track record of breaking figure arts, especially live on recording, but we seem to be doing fine. So just, be wary of that. Depends on your figure, but you have to apply a little bit of force. Obviously, don't try to break it, but don't be too nervous about it, because you're going to have to apply a little bit of force because you're taking the whole arm off, which always does make me nervous, whether it's the arm or the half arm or the fist or whatever, especially the waist ones are really annoying. But then you're just going to swap it out here. I might even cut away to when I've already done it. And I did just that. I cut away so that I had this on here. You gotta be kind of careful of the shoulder pad actually sliding off. Alright, and then take our little Tyranno head here, and you're just going to pop it on the end of the ball joint, where a hand would usually go. And that should go fairly smoothly. The hand joint does like to move around a little bit, kind of like when you attach a Sentai figure head when you take it off, or a Rider one. Alright, there you go. So that is very cool. Very cool effect. I love that it comes with a full-on arm, and, the Tyrannosaurus head. It looks really cool. Very, very neat. So yeah, that's pretty much it for, all to go over now, because we're on the final verdict here or whatever. I'm very, very pleased with this figure. Like I said, I had some concerns about it before it came out. I was a little bit worried, especially since I really love the Kyoryuger designs, and I love the show a lot. So I was looking forward to the figures, but by the pictures I was a little worried about the shoulder joints, and honestly it didn't end up being as bad as I thought. Like I said, I would still in a perfect world possibly try to get them other shoulder joints. Don't do this weird thing, but they are much improved over the Shinkenger one, so it ended up being not that bad. My only real complaints being that it does not come with the combined mode of the Gabu Revolver and the Gabu Recaliber, and the fact that his head is a little slender, but that's really a minor nitpick. I wouldn't let that stop you from picking up the figure. I think it's a really, really good Sentai figure release, and if you're a huge fan of Kyoryuger in any form, I can definitely recommend it. I'm really quite pleased with it, and like I said, pleasantly surprised that my concerns ended up not amounting to much. So yeah, a very, very solid figure. Just really some minor complaints on this one, but if you're really wanting a nice Kyoryu Red figure, I think there's really not much to stop you here, unless you're like really upset about it not having the combined mode. But yeah, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. Till next time, this is Dawson Ryder, signing out.